you were watching one of my previous videos, I did kind of just talk about these a little bit. But this is the mould that I got from Temu. So it's a mould to make up little sort of garden name tags. Now the only issue is that I really wanted to use these ones because I am going to make a little bit of a hook out of wire that they can hang on to when they're in the garden. And if I'm only making those ones, it's going to take me forever to pour. These ones are okay, but I don't want this other bit that's sitting down the bottom. So I've been thinking that maybe if I use a little bit of polymer clay, I can put some in here and sort of mold it and block the resin crete from coming down into the stem of those parts. And that might solve the issues, because then when I do a pour, I can make sort of like, what, there's 2, 4, 6, 8. I can do 10 at a time instead of having to wait over and over again. So that's 10 every 30 minutes rather than, 2 every 30 minutes. It doesn't make a lot of sense. All right, I think I'm ready to go. I've got 150 grams of the resin crete in here and 50 of water. So it is 1 to 3. So I'm just going to move that up. So I'm going to pour the water in and you'll see it start to bubble. I'm going to give this a stir. You've got about 10 minutes working time for the resin crete once it's in this stage. So now, because I want that lime colour, I am going to add in a little bit of acrylic paint. So I usually add in about that much. Okay, so it's just a little squeeze. And then you mix that in. It's very subtle. It dries a little bit lighter than what you actually see it. And I've got some paper towel here because as I bring my spoon out of the resin crete, I like to give that a bit of a wipe. Saves on washing up, and it's ready for another job. Just pop that to the side, and then you just go ahead and pour this in to your molds. Now, as you know, I have blocked it with the polymer. I really don't know at this stage whether or not the polymer is going to stick to the resin crete. All right, now I'm going to wait 30 minutes for these to set. This wire is pretty thick. I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm just got to try and get it out of the ring here. There we go. And this is going to be the holder. So I guess you want it sort of out of the ground so high. It doesn't need to be too much. So if I'm thinking about the measurement, see if I can straighten it. If I go with 40 centimeters, I reckon I'll be okay. So you're going to have a little bit of an attempt as I am with this. 40 might be a good measurement. I'll give this a crack and I'll be able to tell you if you're going to need a little bit more. So 40. I'm going to snip it off at that. Yep. Okay, lucky you only need to snip the length once and you've got it. And now that you've got some pliers, you'll be able to start sort of straightening it out a little bit. I'm going to leave this end down the bottom pretty much straight because that's going to go into the ground. The bit at the top is going to be the interesting bit because I am going to thread the pieces. I hope that the hole's going to be okay. Hang on. Yeah, we should be all right. I'm hoping to thread the pieces of resin crete up and over this wire, that it's going to kind of bend back like this, and then this piece is going to come forward, around, and then this keeps coming around. So it's a little bit like a coat hanger, I guess. It's the shape that you're going for. Just don't make the bends too tight, because you want to be able to slide the Resin Crete piece that you've made over it. And then you're going to bring this bit forward, and this bit you actually want to curl back on itself. And you can do like a decorative curl like that if you like, and that's going to be where the piece hangs. So you don't want it to come around and join, you just want it to be enough that it's going to sit on this. Just make sure it's straight in that way. Okay, so that's kind of the shape that you're looking for, and I once I've got it on there, I'll modify it a little bit so you can bend it down a little bit and just see what that's looking like. But that should be able to stick into the ground as it is. You probably could bend that a little bit more. Okay. All right, these guys should be right to come out now, so let's take a look. The polymer clay has worked really well. I mean, a light stand and you're really not going to be able to see that. So it's pretty happy. I knew it was going to be a bit funky just using the polymer clay as a blocker. These ones are fine because they're just the normal ones. But yeah, a bit of sand on each of these. They're still a bit soft. They're going to need a little bit more curing time. But it has saved me a lot of time not having to worry about having the that was even picked up a bit of mica that I had in the last one. That has saved me a lot of time. So I think that this is a goer. I'm just going to show you this part here. I've been using these sanding blocks across the bin, and they're working a treat. The roughness of that has it done in that little amount of time. So just where I was off camera then, that's it. And then I'm going to use a series of acrylic paint markers and Posca markers to add some colours into these. I was going to keep it normal, but you know what? Why not stir it up a little bit with lots of different colours. Just go over it a second time just to make sure that that's there. Alright, set that aside to dry. And these are kind of going to hang, so it doesn't really matter. You better read the name whichever way it is hanging down. So let's just have a look and see what other ones I had on this page that I can't get to work. We have, let's go, yarrow. I've been having lots of fun doing this activity with a combination of my Artex acrylic markers. I was really happy that I found yet another way to use them. I've been having much better luck with those than the Poscas. The Poscas aren't really liking it, they're getting a bit streaky, so I just end up pumping out a whole bunch of paint and just pushing it around with a nib. So the colour comes out so much better there. I've shaken them, I've done everything else that I could. I just don't know what's going on with them. Alright, so I've been busy making up some of the hooks for these. I'm going to keep one aside because that's the one that's going to help me with future ones, just so I know how far back to do the head. And these are these plants are featuring in the very first garden that I have. So if I hook this around now and bring it around to the front, I'll have to adjust this slightly to get it in. There we go. So that's the one for a gazania, and then I can close this back up so it doesn't go anywhere. Let's get my pliers in the top because I don't want to actually touch the tile part. Sorry, that's a bit fiddly. There we go. And now I have got the label for the flowers that I just planted today. The holder's not on center, it doesn't matter. This is just really a fun thing. And why am I doing this? Because I've got so many different plants, and my husband always says, what plant's that, what plant's that? So now he'll know. And the other thing is, if you're trying to troubleshoot, or you've forgotten what you planted, which can sometimes happen when you have a huge garden, this is a good way of remembering, and that way you can go online and you can look things up whenever you need to troubleshoot something that's happening. So I made one up for the Maya lemon. I had a pick and eat Maya lemon that I planted in this garden this afternoon as well. I've had it for some time, and I thought if I just pop it in this garden, it does look like it's going to be a bit of bad weather this week, which I mentioned before. It'll give me a chance to kind of see how these guys might go in the garden. So how cool is that? Very, very easy. I might just open this up before I put the one on. Very, very easy thing to make. Very cheap thing to make. I saw these online at Temu, the metal ones. They were $60. And I think I've managed to make these. It cost $15 for the wire. And the Resin Crete that I've got there, I'll probably use maybe, I don't know, $15 of Resin Crete. And I've got enough for, I think they only sold 10 in Temu or something like that. And I've got enough to last me for a long time, actually. I should be able to do my whole garden for this, and then some. So I'll put a bit of yarrow in this garden as well. Got a bit of everything in here. And I only just finished it today. I was so excited. Alright, that's the yarrow and lemon verbena. I might just bend that back a little bit. The other thing that'll be good to test out in is our Australian sun here, because, oh my goodness, can't it heat up and make things interesting for the garden as well. I'm just going to leave that one as it is. That'll be fine. Alright, so there you have it. I'm going to go and pop these up in the garden now and we'll take a look. This was a really fun project to do. I enjoy going up to the garden and reading the labels on the plants. I think it's going to help me to become better at identifying them too, because I am planting a whole lot of different species of plants in my garden right now, particularly different herbs that I can use to make balms and salves and things like that with. So I'll be able to identify which ones I can and can't use in those recipes, which I will feature in the channel later on, so don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see those. Alright, I've got quite a few more to make and quite a few wire hooks to make. I'm going to leave the video here. I hope that you've enjoyed seeing how to make your own name tags for the plants in your garden. Thanks for sticking around through all my mistakes, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks again for watching. Catch you then.